Before you continue watching this video is sponsored by FBA Capital's Private Inner Circle. If you're looking for a community of 300 plus traders, live stream access, daily trade breakdowns, along with daily indices signals, then make sure you click the link in the description and make sure you join that free Telegram and make sure you get all the information I provide for free. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another video on today's daily range case study on NAs100. So let's get right on into the charts. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the previous day's highs and the previous day's lows. And now the first thing I'm going to show you guys is something that is going to be of significance at the previous day's low. So as you can see, the previous day's low got ran through. The previous day's high did not get ran through. And why? It's because overall price wanted to keep this premeditated bearish structure. So what does that tell us? Overall, based off of higher time frames, price is moving bearish. So after price came into this bearish daily order block, you can see the reaction that price had. And I'm also going to get the 50% of this area just to see if it came right on into it. And if you look at that precision right there, and you also see that is 15,000. That is a big figure level right here. So after the price came into this 15,000 level, prices immediately came down, engulfed this candle, and now price is slowly making its way to the downside. So there is a likelihood that we're kind of in this range overall. The previous days, with the weekly high from last week still hasn't been broken through, and the same thing with the weekly low. So if you go to the weekly time frame, we're still within the range of last week. So overall, anything can happen. Price can move bullishly tomorrow, price can end up moving bearish. It's all a matter of just waiting and letting the market show what it wants to do. But nonetheless, let's get back over here. I'm going to get the previous day's Asian session range. So from here, this high to this low, we're going to get the Asian session range, and I'm going to get the 12 a.m. open right here. And now the first thing I want to show you guys, I want you guys to pay attention to here and down here. Now the first thing you might see is this major drop. Now you might be wondering, why did this drop happen? What made this drop happen? So right here, pay attention, this drop happened at 8:30. What do we know about 8:30? This is when news occurs. So what happened right here? Price came above this high, cleared these highs to the left. What highs are these? These were highs that were created during London session. So it cleared the London session high at 8 in the morning. Right here at 8 in the morning, cleared those highs, came down. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Came down, and it showed a willingness to want to come lower. Now, why did it do this? It created the high of the day at this time, and then at 8:30 in the morning, we had CPI news that overall led to the market becoming very bearish and coming all the way down to the previous day's low. So let's annotate this up here. So 8 a.m. we had the high of the day, plus we had the 8:30 CPI bearish news, and that's what ended up leading to this major drop, and overall that led to this big expansion to the downside. If you look at how big this move is, this is about a 300 pip move, which is crazy because this happened in a matter of 1 2 3 4 15-minute candle deals, which is about almost, I think, an hour. I'm not good with math, something like that. But we had that 8:30, 8 in the morning, we had the high of the day after clearing London highs. Then we had the 8:30 CPI bearish news that led to the market overall moving bearishly after all of this. The previous day's high did not get targeted, so we're not going to worry about that. And then what happened from here? Price ended up running to the previous day's low. Now this is where I was able to catch a bullish trade. Why was I looking for a bullish trade even though the price had this major expansion to the downside? What I was looking at, I pulled my fib from that high to this low, and I basically was anticipating that price could potentially look to have a possible retracement. I was looking for price to potentially have a possible retracement, and overall, if you look at down here, I was looking all in here for potential reasons to see price have a reversal. But before we get into that, I'm gonna write all this down. So we had right down here, the price targeted the previous day's low at what time? 9 o'clock. So we had the previous day's low targeted, and then from here, price overall had this reversal. So we had the previous day's low targeted, and we had a false break. So why was I looking for a trade in this area? Because I was looking for price to potentially show a willingness to go higher on the lower time frame. So if you go to the lower time frames, you can see this is where price consolidated, and this is where I was able to catch my trade. I was able to catch this bottom right here. I didn't catch this full expansion, but I was able to catch majority of the move I wanted to, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to catch the full move. But what I was looking for is this price to potentially show a willingness to get above the previous day's high. And why did I want to see it get above the previous day's high? Because if it showed a willingness after coming below the previous day's low and immediately starting to lose momentum, I already know that there's a potential chance that price is going to continue higher. Then from here, price ran all the way back up to what? If you look right here, comes back to the 15-minute, just like this. Oh, just like this, come to the 15-minute. Right where this move had the major move, look at this right here. This last up candle, what is this? This is going to be our 15-minute bearish order block. And if you pull all the way to the left, look at where price came right into. Right into there. Price retraced right into that 15-minute bearish order block that was created with that news. So that is going to be something of significance that I need you guys to pay attention to, because this is going to be something that could potentially happen once again. So we're going to annotate this also. So, and this happened at 10:30 in the morning. So at 10:30 a.m., we retraced into the 15-minute order block. Plus, look where it came right to. Came right above the 12 a.m. open. And what do we know about the being above and below the 12 a.m. open? When we're overall bearish, we would want to be selling above the 12 a.m. open. And when we're bullish, we want to be buying below. So we also came above the 12 a.m. open. And that was a sign that price could potentially show a willingness to go lower. And now we're going to take it even a step further. And we're going to get the 50% of that Asian session range all the way to the left. And if you pull this all the way over, look at that. Right in the middle of this 50% of the previous days, not the previous day, right in the middle of this 50% of the Asian range. So that's also another confirmation. So we also had 50% of the Asian range. And now let's look where we are in price. What price is in this area? 15,000. We retrace all the way back to 15,000, which is a big figure level right here. Right, like this is too clean. So another confirmation. Retrace right back into 15,000. And then from here, this is when price had this overall expansion to the downside. So this would have been a move that you ideally would have wanted to catch. In my opinion, price could have potentially even gone higher. If price retraced this much, I personally wouldn't have been taking the trade to go short at this time. That's just me personally. But anybody, if you would have seen this could have been a potential short, because there's so many confirmations. You have the time of day. It's early, not early. I say it's somewhat late, but I say it's early New York session still. We had an order block 2, above the 12 a.m. open 3, retracing to the 50% of the Asian range 4, plus we're at a big figure level 5. And then if you go to the lower time frames in this area, we started to lose momentum after tapping into that order block. So there would have been multiple confirmations for you to potentially just get into a short trade at that point. And you already saw that price had a willingness to go lower, and we weren't clearing this high. So this was currently the high of the day still. And then as you can see, price had this bearish move. Now let's say you weren't able to catch this high up here. What could have you done to still capitalize on this move? So what you can do is get your Fibonacci, pull it from this high to this low, and look where price leads you. Let's get rid of this. And if you don't know where I drew the high and low from, I drew it from this high to this low, because that's where price started to retrace from. Here, I'm going to move this out the way, just like that. And then from here, price had a fib short, and then that easily could have been a trade. Retrace back into this order block. I'm not going to mark it up, but right here, retrace back into that order block, right into this fib short. And then from here, this is where price overall dropped. So this could have been a potential re-entry that you could have got. You had this fib short right here in the overall trend of where price wanted to go. And then from here, price came all the way down, creating the low of the day all the way down here. And where did it create the low of the day? It didn't, I'm gonna say 14,650. It's a mid-figure level. It's not a big figure level, but it's a mid-figure level nonetheless. So it came all the way down to 1650, and this is where I ended up creating the low of the day. So let's go to the higher time frame actually and see if this is anywhere of significance here. Nothing of significance on a 4-hour. Let's see, if you were to pull your fib from this high to this low, go back to lower time frame. this is something you could see how it's reacting. It came right into this fib. So over here, you can also see that it tapped into that fib before also. So where is this fib drawn from? I have it drawn from here. So just like that. So we had this low of the day at this mid-figure level at this fib long. And as you can see, price was easily rejecting these levels. So we're going to annotate that also. So we have the low of the day. And at what time was this made? This is 19, which is about 7:15, I'm pretty sure. 7 or 8:15. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to put it down. So we have the low of the day at 14,650. 14,650. Plus we had that fib long that price is overall holding. And that's really everything that happened today. I was able to catch a bullish move. I really wasn't anticipating price to have this bearish move, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the world as of right now with just CPI. As you can see, CPI had bearish news, so there's obviously something going on. But me personally, I'm not that big into my fundamentals, so I'm not the best person to really try to explain why things are doing what it's doing. But nonetheless, you can still capitalize just based off of market structure. So based off of all of this stuff, me understanding nothing about news, I was still able to catch this trade. So now I'm going to draw the schematic of today. So what happened? Asian session, we ranged. Came back up, had a retracement during London session. Came back down. Did we clear this high right here, this low? We ended up coming down, clearing this Asian session low, having a retracement, clearing that Asian session high. From here, we had a big drop, retracement, and it continued that drop. So overall, it was a bearish New York reversal. So here, I'm gonna make this a little bit cleaner. Just like that, just like that, just like that, just like that. Came down, cleared the low, came above, and from here, we ended up having this overall retracement. So that's really everything that happened today. So nonetheless, this would have been a nice move you've been able to catch. If you didn't catch this buy move, you still could have potentially caught the sell move. And if you missed this original entry, you then could have got another chance when it came back and retraced into here. And if you also look, another confirmation, it retraced right back into that low of the Asian session. So let me put that in there. Plus Asian range low retest. I'm gonna put retest. Just like that. Plus the Asian range low retest. So there's a lot of confirmations for most of these trades. At least 2 to 3 confirmations, and that's all you need. You should never take a trade without at least 2 to 3 confirmations. I say 3 to 4, honestly. 2 is really small, but if you know what you're looking for and you've seen it happen before, then by all means go for it. But I personally like to go for at least 3 to 4 personally, and I usually get them. If I have only 2 confirmations, the likelihood of the trade playing out is going to be far less likely anyway. But nonetheless, take the screenshot and just make sure you study this stuff. So without further ado, I'm gonna end this video off here. So if you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, if I give you a little insight on how I personally view the market, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you stay motivated by the fear of being average, and I will see you guys tomorrow for my live session. And everyone be safe. I'll see you tomorrow.